Hey guys, welcome back to Micho Makes. My name is Micho, and I like to make stuff. Today we've got part 1 of the Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86 by DeAgostini. The last part I went over a overview of the entire process and what we're going to be trying to do with these model kits. And today we're actually going to be starting the building process. So this is part 1 of 110 that we're going to be doing to build this model kit. The part 1 consists of the following. We've got the front bumper, headlight surrounds, reflectors, headlight glass, the headlight support system, the eyelids it looks like, the front bumper reflectors, the actual amber of the front bumper corner lights, screwdriver, screws, license plate, and another, again, vanity plate down here too as well. Again, this thing is massive. I mean, just as perspective again, this is not a Matchbox car, and you can kind of tell how gigantic this thing is going to be, just in comparison of what you can kind of expect from this model kit. I'll go ahead and be the first to actually pull this out of the box, and we'll take a look at these parts in detail. Now, the way that this is also different than other model kits, traditional model kits, is that there's no sprue system in the injection molding process. So there's not actually any anything we need to cut or finish. This is a really less of a traditional model kit, but more of like almost assembly kit, where you're not taking stuff out of the sprue system and then finding it and putting it together. A lot of these parts are finished already, so you kind of have to understand that this is more of a build versus an actual building of a model kit. You know, where you could sand stuff down, you can make paint it. This is mostly finished already, and that might not be as appealing to some folks, but what you do get out of a model like this is the crazy detail. Now, I've seen some really, really crazy detailed model kits before that people have to put a lot more time and effort in. So this is kind of already done for you, but you're doing mostly just assembly. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack issue number 1 open. Now, as mentioned, the guy I purchased this off of, he kind of got bored of them. That's why I got so many parts. I actually got them for pretty cheap from an importer. He just didn't have time to do it, so I, snapped them up. Again, as I mentioned, the first issue is always very cheap, but they kind of get you hooked, and then the subsequent issues, as you kind of are committed to doing this, it does get more expensive. But the first one's always cheap. So let's go ahead and get this open. All right, so it looks like they've got some literature inside, and I've not seen this before as I am opening it with you. Looks like there's a DVD. Pull the box away. I'm not too sure what's on this DVD. I might take a look at it later on, but it looks like a more of a probably instruction, probably more detail about the Model 2 as well. Again, more kind of flavor of stuff that you can get if you are in Japan and you can actually get these upgraded parts. I would love the fog lights. It'd be awesome to have. But unfortunately, again, as I am not in Japan, the availability of these is a lot more difficult because it really is based on how long you've been subscribed to this specific magazine or model kit. But I would love to be able to purchase this. This is the book holders for the each issue inside the magazine. So I would love to be able to get this, and you can see kind of the progress. One is almost 790 yen, which is probably around $5, and the set of 3 is less than $20 American. So without further ado, let's take a peek at this. So it does come in a blister pack style holding. If you can kind of remember the old Transformers, or actually same deal with any toys that you would get in just any like old Toys R Us or Walmart or anything like that. And with the hanger, it's the same kind of style with the holding system they have here. I'm gonna be as least destructive as possible, because normally you can, and I can tell you can in this one, just like rip this open and pull it out. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more careful than what kids like us would be doing back during, let's say, Christmas or something. Do my best at being kind when opening this. Number one, to also not spill the parts everywhere too, because there are some small screws that need to be used to assemble this too as well. Okay, put that to the side. Perfect. And it is a double layer too, so I'm going to go ahead and flip this over so that we can make sure nothing falls out. Put that to the side, and now this is our first look at each part. So let's start with the main attraction, the front bumper. Now this definitely feels like this is obviously a plastic. It does feel like an injection molded plastic. You can actually see the attachment points for the injection molding here. The fit and finish, these are all painted already. This is actually really, really well done. Just make sure this is in focus for you guys can see. Sorry about that. Get that focus locked in. You see that? There we are. So you can see the fit and the painted, pre-painted front bumper. And then on the back side, you can see it is well made, pretty sturdy too as well. Actually very, very stiff, which is kind of normally how a bumper is, but really, really well made. Harder plastic, probably ABS plastic, but the fit and finish is actually really, really well done. You could, go over this again. I don't really see any flaws that you need to go through with any corrections or anything like that. But just look at the size of this thing. That is what's mind-blowing. Look at that. That is crazy large. In comparison, it's huge. It's so awesome. Put that one to the side right now. We'll take a look at the top part of the headlight. Now this is a nice painted plastic too. Gloss. A little bit of orange peel, but obviously, this is what you kind of expect with a model kit. It's not going to be like a actual vehicle, but there's a little bit of orange peel in it. They're all labeled left, right here, and right. Probably this one's labeled right too as well. Yep, left and right. Here are the reflectors. Very nicely painted chrome. Give yourself the chrome look too as well. Oops. The headlight surrounds too. Now these will be motorized, from what I've been told from the information packets. And I think that's what's really gonna make these reflectors pop when they put the electronics in and have the actual bulbs come through. They will light up. The Sprinter is actually a sticker, right? This is a sticker, it's not plastic. So, figure out where to put that. Actually, I'll grab the screwdriver. It's just a regular Phillips head, four-way Phillips head. Pull these reflectors out. Nice amber-colored reflectors. JDM spec, you can tell. The mounts for reflectors, or the turn signals. My apologies. Turn signals. They are labeled right and left too as well. The fit and finish is really kind of what's standing out to me. I don't see any kind of casting lines. I mean, this one actually has a little bit right here. You can kind of see it right here. But it's a really, really well painted, especially with this chrome look. The front badge. Here's a bag of screws. Now these are pretty small, considering. I don't know the pitch or the size of these. It's probably in the instructions somewhere. And then these are license plate, kind of vanity plates, right? These are stickers too as well. You get to choose between the ones you want. Oh, I looks like I missed a couple. These are the eyelids for the headlights. And that's it. Oh, actually no, I missed one. This is the license plate. Kind of hard to see on the black background, but this is the license plate. Just a couple screws to mount them on that. Go ahead and get that out of the way. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get assembling. So with the assembly, it's actually really great is that you can tell there are four sets of staples in the middle spine here, and the top and bottom staples are actually the ones that attach this information packet to the box. So if I remove those two top and bottom ones, I will actually be able to take the book out. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. I won't show you this, guys, this every time. This is just because it's the first one. And I'll probably have these just removed already before we really start. But here is the kind of booklet guide that you can hang on to and collect. And I would love to be able to hang on to all of these. So let's jump to the assembly. And the first part is getting the eyelids. Let's make sure you're in focus so you can see that. Is the eyelids on the headlight surround. And then the next is to put the glass in. Let's get that done. So again, conveniently, you guys see that one? So conveniently, you can see it right there. There's an R indicating that this is the right headlight. So I do not believe. Oh, they are labeled. Great. So these eyelids are labeled. So we'll be able to just plop this on and then get it attached to the correct one. So if I'm looking right here at these instructions correctly, so it looks like I'm going to need to put this in this orientation, these 3 bumps here. Let's just double check and make sure. So it looks like with this right side, we need to match up this little hook here. It's hard to see these hooks right here with these 2 little knobs at the top. You place them in that, orient them correctly. Again, they should fit pretty nicely. And just press them in. And that is the official start of this project. The first piece. Let's do the second piece. Nice little satisfying click with this on. Make sure that this one's set too as well. Good. I gotta be really careful. These were stuck, and I forgot to show them in the unboxing. These were really hard to see because the packaging was clear as too as well. What's really cool about these, let me see if I can get it focused on, if you can see it. They actually say on them halogen. Some more writing, but it's really hard to make out. It's super cool. I don't think there is a right or left on these, so I think we can just plop them in on whichever one we want. So here it is. Just be able to drop it in. To keep these secure, we're going to be adding in the reflectors, and it looks like there's one point where we're going to be putting a screw in too as well. Right there. Let me drop this so you can see this a little bit better. There are the reflectors. There is a right and left one too as well. This is right. You take the reflector, place it in here, and that should hold the glass in place. and then adding a screw right in the corner. These screws are not big. So we'll do our best to make sure these do not go flying around anywhere. Just grab one. Magnetized, nice. And there's our first one. Looks great. Alright, first two headlights complete. The next part is putting on the surround metal portion that would be on the 86 right here. Now I believe this is the right one. Yes, right. So we want to use this one right here. And really, it looks like there's 4 mounting points. 2 of these are standoffs right here, and then there are 2 screw holes that go right there. This gets fitted on. And 2 bolts get put in right there.
One.
I would always suggest torquing down plastic model kits if you're using screws in there like this. Always by hand. You can actually feel when it needs to stop. If you torque it down too much, you're going to break it, and you're more likely to break it when you're using an electric drill or something to that nature. Now we've got 2 mostly assembled headlights. Obviously we're missing wiring for the headlights, but looks great. The next portion is getting these reflectors mounted with the amber right here. This is actually pretty simple. All you need to do is just kind of click these in place. And then the other side too as well. They said that if this side is a little too raw, you can take a diamond file and file this down a little bit. I might do that a little bit later. This one is a little poor in terms of the quality. Right there, you can see the sprue system that got just left on. I'm not going to mess with it right now, though. Looks great. And there will be lights put into these reflectors to make them glow. That's going to be really cool. Okay, the next part is actually getting the turn signal lights mounted in the bumper. So you can kind of tell right away which one goes where. And if you try to put this one in this way, it's just not going to work. So right here, you get a couple screws. We need 4. Save the rest.
Get the hole in place.
And with those 2 bolts, we've got a front bumper, mostly. Looks great. The last piece is the license plate frame. All you do is just kind of pop that on. Good. Now, I am debating. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put the badge on too as well, the front badge. It's a little bit more difficult, so I'm going to use a pair of tweezers. Get that centered perfectly. Find the right spot.
Get that right there in the middle.
The license plate. And look, that looks all good. Now, with the license plate, I have 3 options. Sprinter 3-door, black with white letters. Sprinter 3-door, white with black letters. And the last one is Sprinter. I'm going to hold off. I'm going to hold off on using these stickers and applying them. But I'd like to congratulate us on finishing the first part of this build. So as a recap, we have 2 headlights, reflector and all. A front bumper with corner turn signals, a front bumper license plate, and the all-important logo in the front. Thanks a lot for joining me today. This is the first part of 110 for the DeAgostini Toyota Corolla or AE86 Trueno Sprinter hatchback model that they've made. And this is just the first part. Just a reminder, with the headlights, we pulled out the front bumper, we did the corners, and we assembled basically the entire assembly for that. I'm going to be holding off on the license plate and choosing that later, but I want to thank you guys for joining me today. It really helped the channel grow if you give me a like, maybe you left a comment, and subscribing if you hadn't. It would really help. But I'm going to be continuing doing these videos right here, and let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great night.